What is up, guys? It is Nixxiom here, and it has been a long time since the last Eastern Kingdoms walking video. And once again, I'm joined by Crendor.
Hey, I'm Crendor.
It is Crendor. How's it going, Crendor?
Going good, Crendor. How about you, Crendor?
It's been very good, Crendor. Lots of Crendors have been happening up in this Crendor, and I'm excited for this new episode of the Crendor and the walk-in of the Crendor. Crendor.
Great walk of the Crendor, Crendor.
That's right, Crendor. Yeah, dude.
Crendor.
Hey, dude, by the way, there's like a guy walking this way. We're gonna die.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
Hold on, maybe we'll be able to maybe dodge him. Filthy rebel watchman. Okay, we're good.
Oh, yeah, he stops.
There's also a young panther right up ahead. We're gonna die a lot this episode.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a honker.
Yeah, but we'll see how we do. I'm already gonna die. It's been like a little bit since the last walk episode.
Yeah, when was the last one?
Oh, I have no... Whoa!
What?
Why do I run so fast when I'm dead?
Oh, yeah, what the hell?
What the? Okay.
Yeah, what happened?
I have no idea. Is this supposed to be like this? Am I dumb? Am I forgetting something with Cataclysm?
Yeah, what? I don't even think this happens in normal WoW.
No, it doesn't. All right, well, anyway, I guess us running back to our bodies won't be that difficult.
That's good.
Anyway. But yeah, it's been a little bit. I mean, a lot has been going on my end of things. I feel like the last episode that we did, had I moved?
I think you were about to move.
Really? It's been that long?
Been a while, yeah.
Okay,
In
yeah,
fact,
I mean...
I'm gonna check.
Yeah, check real fast.
Let's see, it was... Beep boop. 2 months ago.
2 months ago. Let's see, and we're in what, November right now?
This was... Oh, wait, that wasn't even the walking. That was us doing a delve.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, let's see, 2 months. Man, what has happened in 2 months? Let's see, that would have been back in like August, September, October, November.
It was right before you went to Germany.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I went to Germany. I went to Garmisch-Partenkirchen down in like southern Bavaria. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I went to Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Very wonderful, very beautiful place. I hung out there for about like a week roughly, and had a good time. It was a honeymoon, but also an opportunity to meet with Mukluk. And then we came back, and we had just moved into this new home, and so we just went like full on crazy, like moving into the house. Little bit of an older home, so a lot of renovations, like like tearing off like old wallpaper from like, goodness gracious, like the 1940s or something.
Oh, yeah.
Had to like replace the entire electrical box outside, had to redo a bunch of like the outlets and fix a bunch of windows, and lots of renovation, cleaning and repainting. And the guy who lived here before us was like 85 or something, so it was just a lot of stuff to fix that he had left behind for us to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I got back into streaming during that time. I'm giving you guys the fastest life update in the West. Got back into streaming. That was going really good. Everything was fine. Then I actually didn't stream the past 2 weeks, just because I got for anybody that's watched this for a long time, like the Two Nerd series. I had Lyme disease like a year and a half or 2 years ago. I don't even know how long it was. And periodically that comes back every now and then. It's like the disease resurfaces, and it like takes me out of commission for like a week. And that is normal. It does happen with some people. I was even told that would happen potentially. But luckily, like for the week that I was out, the first week, it wasn't really that bad. It was bad enough that I wasn't really doing anything, but it was nowhere near as bad as the other times that the disease like came back. And then right after that, you had like the big election was going on. I ain't streaming during like the big ass election, and like
right.
everybody's wanting to kill each other. I ain't touching that because I don't care. And then God bless anybody who does. And then after that, I just this weekend, I went to this like massive LARP event down in South Carolina, and I just got back from that. And now I've been like kind of getting back to work on things and settling back in. And yeah, so that's my super fast life update.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, a lot has happened in a very short time. It's been a very wild year.
I had my mold wall. Did I talk about that?
I think you told me about that off recording.
All right. Well,
you said you like ripped out like one of your walls because there was mold in it.
Yeah, our back wall, we had mold on it. I was like, cool. We had mold people come. They're like, yeah, it looks like you had some water leaking from like this outer part where it's supposed to repel water. It was like flat, so the water was kind of pouring towards it as well over time. Right. So we had to have that ripped up and then repaired. So not that bad of a process, aside from the fact that it costs money.
Right.
So that was the worst part.
Right.
But then we also had to, well, the other part was like, the main thing, the cosmetic parts are like whatever, but he was like, yeah, you have like rotting baseboards, which hold up the like foundation of your house. So he's like, that's like the most important thing. So we got all new those. So, you know, roof's not going to cave in. That's good.
That's good. Yep.
And after that, I was like, all right, let's go. And then I got COVID-19.
Nice.
And I was like, all right, you know what? I hope I don't lose my taste and smell this time. I did not.
Good.
So I was happy about that. But post-COVID, I got laryngitis. And this isn't just like a COVID thing. A lot of viral illnesses can give you laryngitis.
What is like laryngitis? Like, remind me.
It is the inflammation of your voice box.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it makes it hard to talk. For at first, it's just hard to talk in general, and then it's hard to talk for long periods of time.
Right.
So really great if you're a streamer, YouTuber, podcaster.
Right.
And yeah, so just a lot of like text to speech with my streams, having fun with like AI bot text to speech. And that was cool for a while, but then it hits a point where you're like, I just want to talk again, man. You know? Right. So
I understand.
I am finally at that point. If I overdo it, my throat and like neck muscles actually get really tight, and apparently that's pretty common too. They just like got to get back to being normal.
Like even right now, you feel that way?
Yeah, like my voice is back, but like if I keep talking, like my neck and stuff like does get really tight, but it gets better if I like stop. So it's apparently a pretty common thing. But I'm like, I can actually talk again, which is the main thing.
That's good.
Yeah. So luckily, I've had a lot of sponsors lately that have propped up my mediocre streaming YouTube mod. Actually, YouTube hasn't been too bad.
That's good.
Because YouTube's not as bad because you can take breaks. Because streaming, obviously, you're just going and going and going. But YouTube, I can be like, number 10, and then be like, all right, 30-minute break. And then be like, number 9.
Right.
So... Pointless Top 10's still doing great.
That's good.
Still feeling good. We got I did Pointless Top 10 Creepy Things. That one's at 61,000 views. People loving it.
Nice.
Top 10 Ghosts. That one's 35,000. Then we just did Weirdest Buildings. That one's at 23,000. So Pointless Top 10s are doing pretty solid. I'm happy.
Excellent, dude. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention, I don't know how your mold wall reminded me of this, but I forgot to mention, or I don't think I mentioned it, but during the past few weeks, the weekend before I went to that big LARP event thing, we had a big housewarming party at the home. A bunch of friends came over and stuff, and we revealed to them our ultrasound pictures and stuff, and the big announcement that me and Mrs. Nixxiom are having our first kid.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Mamma mia, congratulations.
Yeah, so the first of 15, we're hoping.
Wow, you're gonna be like those Mormon TV shows.
Yes. Well, hopefully we can outdo them. we will see. Not exactly sure how I'm going to afford this, but we'll see. We'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm working on that Nixxiom and Crendor book.
There you go.
You know, it'll sell trillions of copies.
Yeah, maybe even quintillions.
I actually, just before I left for South Carolina this weekend, I actually released an audiobook sample of the book that I've been working on. And,
wow.
Yeah, it's not just me reading it, like a little excerpt from a chapter. It's I'm reading it. There's voice acting in it. Mookluk does voice acting in it. There's music, sound effects to go along with, like, you know, oh, he unsheathed his sword and you hear sing, you know, things like that. I made it like a reward for people that are channel members or like Twitch subscribers or something. I put it on like the supporter section of like the Nixxiom Discord for anyone that like supports the channel or whatever. So people have been loving it. So I actually was supposed to link that to you, but I never did. So I'll have to do that after this. Remind me.
Yeah, do that. I want to listen.
Yeah. So yeah, me and Mookluk just worked on it just before I left.
You you also got a cat.
I also got a cat. Yeah, that too. Yeah, lady friend, she really wanted, well, the missus, she really wanted to get a cat. And I don't know exactly what, you know, spurred it on, but just one day I was like, okay, start looking for a cat. And she found one for free through Facebook Marketplace. It was a cat that was born from a stray cat that had a litter. So we got this cat for free, and he is a kitten. He wants to attack everything. He wants to climb everything. He wants to kill everything, specifically my fingers. He is a kitten. So, but he's cool. Yeah, but I think the thing that I like the most about him is he oddly really likes to be manhandled. Like, you can pick him up, you can throw him, you can make him dance, you can turn him into a machine gun, you can do anything. This cat, he just doesn't care. He loves it. So hopefully that sticks around, because it's silly.
Probably.
Picking him up and making him dance.
Yeah, most cats, they usually kind of stay similar to how they are as kittens. Like, they get more, like, chilled out, but they're usually pretty similar.
Yeah, he's like, I think 4 or 5 months old at this point. So, still very, very young. Man, I'm getting deleted by these raptors.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Like, I'm alive for 1 second, they just charge on in.
Yeah, it is Raptor Central.
Yeah.
How's your house been that you got and upgraded and everything?
Oh, I love it. I think it's we're about an hour north of where we were before, and the area that I moved into, we were told was like a not so good area. You know, like a little bit, like, not like sketchy, but, well, maybe you could use that word, like sketchy, not so good. Like, you probably don't want to live there. But we moved in, and everything has been fantastic. Like, the neighbors have been incredible. Like, the area is very quiet. Like, the locals have been awesome. Like, it's honestly, I used to live in a place called Kannapolis, North Carolina, years ago, all on my own. And I much prefer living here where I am now than where I lived before. Like, the past 2 places, like even the place that I was living at just before here. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, and the house has been great too. You know, it's like an older home, so you got like some nice, like, you know, like old American wood accents on everything, like, you know, the doors and the kitchen, and you know, definitely not like a very big home. I think it's only like 1,100-ish square feet, maybe not even that. But you know, it's just been fantastic. And so we're almost nearing the point. I have 1 room that I have to work on, which is the bedroom. And I gotta like renovate that room. And then once that's done, then I can finally move to the outside, like, you know, painting the front door. And I'd like to build a deck on this house one day, like a front deck. And so I don't know, we'll see. But, you know, everything's in the it's just a matter of time and a matter of money. And I just went to this event over the weekend, and I had to, which was pretty expensive to say the least. So we'll see.
Didn't you have some like circuit breaker thing?
Yeah, I had to. So one of the cons, for those that don't know this, one of the cons of buying an older home is, one, usually you have most of the outlets in the home are only 2-prong outlets, so not 3-prong, because back in the ye old yonder days, like outlets and stuff were not grounded. That's what that third circular prong thing is for. So most of the outlets in this home are not grounded. Some are, but most aren't. And then the other issue is that the outside, like, circuit breaker box, we had a security system installed, and the security guy went and turned off our power at one point to install our thermostat, and the power wouldn't come back on. And I wish I could have I wish I had taken a photo and I could have shown you guys or shown you, but that outside circuit breaker box was just like completely corroded. Like just years and years of just rust and like, I don't even know what else, like just rust and neglect and whatever. Like it looked horrendous. And so luckily, I found a guy. He actually the ADT guy actually knew someone who could replace like the entire box and stuff, and I had him come out and do that. And then we also had him come out again to install an outlet so that we could put an oven in the kitchen. We had an oven, but it was like a really, 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 really old gas oven, and it was just it just looked terrible. So we had to upgrade to something more like modern. But yeah, definitely a lot of hidden costs. But the home has been fantastic, and like the housewarming party went incredibly well. People love the house, and the best part is the cigar lounge, hands down. I have a whole cigar lounge in the front of the house, and I have sat out there not too many times, maybe like 3 or 4 times at this point, because I've been busy, and I've just sat out there, sat on my leather couch and smoked a cigar and watched the cars drive by, and it's been nice.
Wait, you got an actual lounge?
Yeah. Well, sort of. The original owner, this house clearly had a front deck at some point, like a front concrete deck. And the owner before us, he lived here for like 30 years, he told us. He converted that into a sunroom. All the windows open, they're all screened, really big windows, it's a full-on sunroom. And it's a cigar lounge. Like, as soon as I saw the photos of that thing, I was like, that's a cigar lounge, 100%. So we went in there, we took out all the crap that he had left behind, and we replaced it with like, some nice like leather furniture and some, this really nice rug, very like thin rug so it doesn't capture that smoke smell so much. I put an electric fireplace out there, which I've had that thing for years. But so if it gets cold out there, since there's no like heating and cooling, you can just warm up the room. And it's been nice. Like I was out there like just the other day, just sitting out there. I had like a window open. I had the electric fireplace going. It was nice and comfortable. And I wasn't smoking. I was just playing music as the cars drove by. And as like people walked by the house, and they just waved at me.
It's like a relaxing room in general.
It is. It's very much a relaxation room. And then, and then like the upstairs is like a full-on giant loft, pretty much. And we haven't done anything up there yet, but we'll get there. So we're happy. We definitely lucked out with this place, and we're very happy, to say the least.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. Aside from all the like old repairs, but
that was kind of expected. You're buying an older home, but people like older homes. If you can just come on into an older house and upgrade it a little bit and bring it into like 2024, so that people can charge, their iPhones and stuff, but still live in like a nice, cozy, like well-built older home. Like, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, man. So, like you said, just a lot of stuff's been going on in a very short period of time.
Yeah, it feels like you've been pretty much since that Germany trip, like going nonstop.
I would say probably since the wedding, or even before the wedding. Like just been going nonstop. And I'm not even done yet because like now that everything is finally calmed down, it's like okay, I fully admit that like this year, because of the preparing for the wedding and Germany and the moving and all this stuff that's been going on, I admit that like my YouTube channel and like Twitch stream and everything, like it has all suffered like terribly. Like I don't I need to get my views back on YouTube, but I want to grow like the Twitch streams again. I'd like to like get sponsors again. That would be nice. Especially like with the kid on the way and whatnot. Don't want to sell my soul, but getting a sponsor just to shout someone out every now and then is nice. But yeah, like definitely have a lot of work ahead of me to repair stuff, or rather bring stuff back to where they were. But luckily people have been very supportive on Twitch and on YouTube. And unfortunately I released a video recently on Turtle WoW and I had to take it down. Turtle WoW is a private server, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
But I had to take that video down and it was doing fantastic. But of course Blizzard wasn't too happy about it, so like, take that down. All right, otherwise I'll copyright strike the channel. So, but that's okay. Whatever. At least I got my message out there. And that's why the video was made in the first place. And yeah, man. So, and then this weekend I now have, well, I shouldn't say but I got the wonderful experience of I got to propose to 5 different ladies. That was an experience. I got to hunt for a ghost. I got to fight a bunch of people. I rammed a spear into someone's balls.
Mamma mia.
There was a lot. I watched a bunch of witchcraft happening in front of me as someone became possessed by evil spirits, and yeah, dude, it was lit.
What's the process of the LARP event? Because I really don't know anything outside of like what I'd say most people know, which is like a bunch of nerds show up and they pretend to be like warriors of olden times or whatever it might be.
Right. So like there's so when most people think about LARPing, they probably think about low immersion, low effort LARP. Just kind of like people that they get together, they probably spend like maybe $60 on like an outfit they got off of Temu or like Amazon, and they whatever, they just get together and just have a good time, but not like a very like serious time, like with their LARP and the storyline. That troll is creeping up on you very slowly though.
Wow, it really is.
Yeah, also those 2 zombies, why are they walking so slow?
I guess because they're zombies.
I guess so. Anyway, all right, well, so the event that I went to is a high immersion event. So like in order to get in, like you have to pass like number 1, like a gear check. Like they have to approve and like make sure that like, oh, you're wearing like, like period appropriate gear. It's high quality. Like you're not even allowed to like have a water bottle like out of the event, because it's like, no, that doesn't fit into like the world, a plastic water bottle. Like you need like a leather canteen or something.
Oh, that's cool.
And so definitely a bit of a barrier to entry, but again, it's a high immersion event. Even like where I like slept while there, like I actually slept in like a tent, like a ye old like commander's tent. If you can imagine, maybe like a big old like canvas tent at like the Renaissance Fair or something. So I stayed in one of those with 2 of my friends. But the event that I went to, it doesn't have like magic or anything like that. I mean, like there's magic like in the lore, but it's kind of like Game of Thrones. It's like something that like nobody really understands it. But it's like it's there. It's just like kind of a mystery, I suppose. And if somebody does come along that knows like a little bit of magic, it's like, oh shit, like these people are very few and far between, and like their knowledge is usually very limited. And so I went to an event called the Hearthlands in South Carolina. They have like a website and stuff, and pretty much it's an offshoot event. There is this big event that happens in South Carolina. It's called Weekend Warrior. And it's like you've got all these people that gather together at this location. And there's all these different factions that you can potentially become a part of, like Hearthguards, Sea Lords, Rangers, Kingsmen. And they're all kind of themed after like, you know, different maybe groups in history. You know, like Hearthguard, for example, they're themed after like maybe like your Danish Vikings or your Anglo-Saxon warriors, like Riders of Rohan, pretty much. Then you got the Rangers, picture Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. Kingsmen are like big, like Holy Roman Empire knights, you know, full plate armor, black and gold. If you want to be a Kingsman, dude, you're going to spend thousands of dollars getting a full plate suit of armor. Like, it's insane.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, obviously, like, you know, I was part of Hearthguard, so, you know, furs and leathers and stuff. But the thing is, like, the Hearthguard got so big with Weekend Warrior as a faction that they have actually now created their own event for Hearthguard only called the Hearthlands. And this year was the first ever Hearthlands event. And so I was one of like the founding members of the Hearthlands. But, you know, you go down there and, you know, like, you know, we got there like 2:00 in the afternoon, and you got a few hours to like pitch your tent and, you know, unload your stuff, you know, say hi to people, shake some hands. And then at 5 p.m. it's game on, you know, like you're in full immersion after that point. You can go out of character. So like I could like be role playing with you and then be like, oh, hey, what time is it, out of curiosity? But in order to go out of character, I can't really describe it. It's hard to describe it. You kind of like bonk your head, or like you bonk your forehead twice. And that shows that, hey, what I'm about to say is out of character. But anyway.
I see.
But yeah, and like, you know, when you're there, you know, it's like playing an MMO. You know, you got your character, you have your background, you know, you have your motivations, whatever they are. And you've got all these people, and some people are players like you. Other people are NPCs. Like, they are specifically there to give out quests and to, you know, get the story like moving and, you know, people interacting with each other and stuff. Other people are like major lore characters, like the actual like big players in the storyline, like the Queen and the Jarls and stuff like that. And then, yeah, and then you got people like, you know, just the commoners, like just people playing the game like me and my friends and stuff. And so, yeah, you know, you get there and game on, and then suddenly like, you know, like there's like a big, like maybe introductory story event that happens to like kind of set the mood. Like, oh, this thing has happened. And like in the story for us, it was like, oh, the Queen has called this big moot of all like the different jarldoms together. And we're like discussing our independence from like this kingdom that is pressuring us to like reabsorb us back into their kingdom. And then after that, then it like, you know, everything breaks off. You know, you got like a whole like village, and you know, suddenly you're doing quests for people like, oh, hey, like I lost this thing, go find it for me. Or, hey, can you deliver this letter to like the Queen's bodyguard so-and-so? Sometimes it's just a joke quest, like, or like a joke event. Like at one point I got a letter and it was covered in blood, and the person was like, oh, read this letter in secret. And I was like, oh shit. So like I went like off to the side and I opened up this letter, and it was just like, oh, or what did it say? I have it in the other room, but it's like, we would like to talk to you about your sword's extended warranty. You know, please come to, the Crafters Guild to like, blah, blah, blah. Just like little joke things like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's high immersion, but you got like a lot of humor in it as well. It's people having fun. And then, so yeah, like you're doing quests. Like we were out in the woods a lot, like especially at night, walking through the woods with just a lantern and like armor and stuff, and got your swords and everything. And, people are following you like in the darkness, and that was cool. And then of course you got combat, like I think it was the first ever Hearthlands event, but I think there was probably like 175 to 200 people there. So nothing too crazy, but you still have like these big combat events where you got like 200 people, like maybe like 100 people here and 100 people there. And you got like two giant lines of like, shields with spears and swords, and you're like charging at each other and fighting. And the fighting is legit. I mean, like I remember the first event I went to, I was told like, look, you're going to get hurt, but you're not going to get that hurt, but you're going to get hurt. So you do come home with a lot of bruises. And luckily no one had to go to the hospital this year. The last event I went to, I think someone had to go to the hospital.
You just get like whacked too hard.
I think at the last event that I went to, we were doing like a battle out in the woods, and I didn't see this happen, but I remember EMT was called, that, and that's like that's like a call where like everybody has to stop and like drop and take a knee and just don't move because something has happened. And so we're all like just stopped, we're looking around, and I remember like the heralds, kind of like the people that watch over the game to make sure everything is operating well and safely and stuff. I remember the heralds like ran by like me and like this group I was in, and they had a stretcher. And I what happened is I think someone got hit like really hard in the neck with a shield, and they couldn't breathe. And so they were carried out of the woods on a stretcher. So, badass. Like, I was like, yeah, they were fine. Like, they were totally cool. So I don't think they went to the hospital, but yeah, like even like right now, I've got quite a few bruises like on my back, and, being shot by arrows and stuff, and like on my chest.
What are the arrows?
The arrows are like, they're if you look up like LARP arrows, they are like padded. They don't look like real arrows. They're intentionally made so that, you can be shot by them and they're not going to kill you. But like the bows like have a like a weight limit to like how, like, how like a bow has like it's weighted to like how, strong the pullback is.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not an archer, so I could be totally wrong with what I'm about to say, but I think it's like the limit is 40 pounds. So like it's enough force that like if someone shoots you kind of close range, like you went the completely wrong way, by the way.
Oh, I went to Booty Bay.
Remember, we have to go to the bottom of Monkey Island.
Oh, geez.
Because that's the bottom of the map.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'll wait for you. But like if you're shot like kind of semi close range, like you're gonna probably get a bruise even with a padded arrow. But again, you're gonna get hurt, but you're not gonna get that hurt. Like so. Anyway, yeah, but I totally speared a dude in the dick by accident. Like it was cinematic, dude. Like I was with like this group called the Hounds. It was like me and a few other people. We got like our rings, like showing that we're like official members, and we were acting as like a skirmisher group. So you could like imagine like a line of shields, and then we were told like, hey, like, go around. Like once like the shield walls like crash together, Hounds, like you're gonna go around and try to flank these guys on the side. So shield walls clashed together. Hounds then moved over to the side to flank these dudes and surround them. And there was this old man in front of me, and he probably looked like he was like maybe like 50 or something. And me and him just start like going at it. And I got like, you know, the other hounds like on either side of me. It's like 7 people in our like little fist unit. And so we're like, you know, poking and prodding at each other. And at one point, this dude, like, I think an arrow got shot at him and he lifted up his shield to like, you know, block it. And ding, you know, the arrow bounces off the shield. And right then, just in this cinematic moment of glory, I just thrust it out with like the spear that I had. And it's just like his chainmail and his leather just opened like almost like it was inviting me in, and like the tip of my spear just went directly into his nutsack, and that dude dropped, and he's just like on the ground like and you know, and immediately I drop on the ground. I'm like, hey man, like you know, you okay? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. And you know, he's like, you know, wheezing and dying, but he's also, you know, he's laughing, and you know, I'm laughing too. And, you know, I'm patting him on the shoulder. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. For the record, that did count, though. I did kill you. I just want to, like, make that very clear. But I didn't mean to. Like, you know. So, yeah. They'll release videos from the event, like, on, like, their Instagram profile and stuff over the next, like, few months. It takes time to, like, edit everything. But they'll, like, do photographs as well. And because you do have, like, photographers and, like, people filming at the event. It's like 3 people, and you just ignore them. They're not actually in the game. They're just there to, you know, promote it and stuff. But definitely a lot of fun. I have like a million stories I could tell, but I think the only other quick story I could tell that I think you would find funny is I got a quest on the last day of the event, and there was this woman in a in the marketplace, because you can like buy gear and like, you know, sell stuff and whatever. There's like a whole in-game currency and whatnot. And she had this copper cup, and it's sitting in front of me right now. Really nice copper cup. And she's like, oh, like I would like I forget how the conversation went, but she was like, oh, I've got this copper cup, and you know, I'm willing to give it to you if you do something for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, what would you like me to do? And she says, like, oh, just for my pure amusement, here, I'm going to give you this. And she reached into a pan, and she pulled out these 5 little wedding rings. And she's like, I want you to go out and find 5 ladies, and I want you to propose to them. But don't let them know about each other. And if you do this prank, I'll give you this cup. So I was like, okay. So I walked around the camp, and you know, I'd run into like a couple of ladies while, like, you know, during the event. And yeah, like I approached a bunch of females, and I asked them to marry me. Like there was like this one girl, for example, like I had one conversation with her, like that consisted of 3 sentences. Because I mean, I was like, oh, I gotta find 5 people. And like I go up to her, and I'm just like, oh yes. Oh, Vi, you know, I feel that over the past few days at the Queen's Moot, I feel that we have grown quite close, you and I. Woman's looking at me like, the hell is this guy talking about? And I'm just like, yes, I must confess, I am your most adamant admirer. I have dreamed of you each night the past several days. And so, with all the love inflamed in my heart, I would ask if you would perhaps consider me to be my lovely wife, or consider me to be your most loving husband, or whatever. In conclusion, my character now has 4 ladies who accepted the marriage invitation. One is thinking about it. None of them know about each other or about this quest. They don't need to know about each other or this quest. And I got myself a brand new copper cup.
Oh yeah, so, that copper cup.
Yeah, it's a nice cup. Like, I've been drinking coffee out of it and stuff. Like, oh, it's lit.
Oh,
so,
man.
Yeah, so like the rewards that you get, it's not just like, you know, in-game currency. Like, you know, you can actually get like legit things. Like you get like a weapon, or like, you know, a cup, armor, you know, like whatever. Like just it's like playing an RPG, just like you're doing it in real life. That's all.
Was most of the event during the nighttime, now that it gets dark earlier? That's what I was thinking.
It goes all day. So
I see.
Yeah, like at one point, like on the first night, without going into the full story, we had like heard tell that there were like these relics out in the woods that were like dedicated to like the various deities and stuff. And people were searching for them to either use them or steal them. And it was already late at night when we learned about this. It was part of like the greater story that this was revealed to everybody. And my friend Sean, we were talking about going and finding these relics perhaps together. Me, Sean, and this guy named Zach, who we all went together. And we're like, okay, cool. Well, Sean disappears a few minutes later. Me and Zach have no idea where he's at. So we're wandering the camp. You know, his character name is Blaine. So me and Blaine are wandering the camp looking for Fingale, his name. And we can't find him. And eventually I'm like, dude, I bet he walked off into the woods by himself. And like, you know, all throughout the event, it's like, oh, don't go out in the woods at night alone. There are things out in the woods, you know, blah, blah, blah. So it like suddenly it turned into like a rescue mission. So we walked around. We finally found a lady who had a lantern that she could give us. So we got this lantern, and then me and Blaine like wandered way out into the woods. Like, you know, it's pitch black out. We got this tiny little lantern going. You know, Blaine's got like, you know, a little short sword in one hand. You know, he's got his lantern in the other. I got like my shield and like my sword in like the other hand and whatnot, acting as like his bodyguard. And we're walking out there like, oh, Fingale, where are you? Where are you? And all the while, like we can hear like people like moving in the trees, like around us in the dark. And there were like, you know, people walking around out there like covered in like, you know, like full like black paint and stuff. So you can't see them. And they're following you and making noises and stuff. And you're like, what the heck is going on? And then finally we found him by like just pure random chance. We found Fingale, and he was like talking about like this ghost that he had seen, and that he had like encountered like these people, and they were doing some sort of ritual or like some cult or whatever. And my character is like I was playing as like this big skeptic. Like my character doesn't believe in like the supernatural, and I'm like, you know, you're being ridiculous, Fingale. Like, you know, there's no ghosts or gods or, you know, forest demons or anything like that. And then we had to like, you know, lead him out of the woods after searching for his ghost a little bit further and whatever the heck, you know, he had seen. And so that was a lot of fun, doing like a sort of rescue mission out in the woods. Then we got back to like the big old like big tavern, and we all like, you know, drank mead out of like, you know, some yield drinking horns and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. So and then like Fingale recounted his stories. Then we met this one dude named Piotr, and he was a foreigner. Like, he's not actually from the Hearthlands, and he was like, oh, my friends, like, may I sit here? I'm learning of your culture. And we're like, oh yes, please sit. And, you know, we're like forcing this like, you know, this foreigner to like tell us stories, like, tell us of your land and the women that come from there, like, you know. So it was great. It was a ton of fun. Definitely excited to go back next year. Probably going to be rolling with like a crew of over like a dozen people next year.
Wow. Yeah, so it's like a yearly thing then.
Yeah, well, they have multiple events. Like Hearthlands is once a year. Then there's Weekend Warrior. There's War of the Barons. That takes place during like, or that's a LARP of the War of the Barons in England.
It's where you yell Chuck Norris jokes.
Huh?
It's where you yell Chuck Norris jokes at each other.
Well, you don't yell Chuck Norris jokes, but there is a rule at the event where like you can't actually like insult people. Like I can't be like, oh, Crendor, you're a piece of shit and I hate you. Like you can't do that. Right. So instead, what they encourage is you do creative medieval insults that are lighthearted and harmless. So you might be like, you know, you look like the kind of person that bakes pies.
Or like, your mother is a pumpkin squasher.
Something just like that. I bet your mom sits on pumpkins. Like, you know, it's just like, what? Like, I bet your dad made lots of candles back in his day. Like, you know, just like what? What are you saying? But so it was fun, like just hearing like all the like the creative like insults people would do. Like at one point, somebody told me, they said something like, "Oh, you look like somebody that bakes bread." And I was just like, how dare you say that, you bastard? I detest such things. So, but yeah, so definitely get the high immersion, but there's a lot of lighthearted fun as well in it. So that way, you're not like overwhelmed or you don't feel like, like it's like so intimidating. And the fighting can definitely be intimidating because when you got like, a big wall of spears coming at you, I mean, like,
oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's technically foam weapons, like, really high quality foam. But like those things hurt when you get hit by them. And when you got a wall of people coming at you, it's a little scary.
Especially if you're getting foamed in the dick.
Yeah, but luckily no one at the event would do such a thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So anyway, I could tell a million stories about the event. It was an adventure.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, but we've reached the bottom.
We did it.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
What a journey.
What a journey. We have now walked the entire length of Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms.
Now where are we going to walk?
Well, people are suggesting, or one guy left a comment forever ago, and he said that once we reach the bottom of STV, we should walk all the way back to the Blasted Lands, go through the Dark Portal, and then walk to Black Temple.
Can we even go through the Black Temple or the Dark Portal?
You see, that's the thing. I don't know. I am not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I mean, we could try it. But I don't know. Other than that, I mean, I guess, like, can we take a boat to Northrend?
Probably. I mean, if you're Horde, I don't know about Alliance. Well, actually, I think Alliance can take the boats to Northrend. I'm pretty sure you can just, I know Horde can take the Zeppelin.
Okay.
The Borean Tundra. Because then, yeah, we could go from Borean Tundra all the way to Howling Fjord.
Dude, all we gotta do is walk from here. We'll go to Stormwind. And then we'll catch a boat there. And then we can, then we'll just sail on off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess there's got to be a way to get to Hellfire Peninsula if it was like a low level person or something too. Oh no, chat, tell us.
Yeah, let us know, chat. I'm down for going to Northrend and going from Borean Tundra all the way to Hrothgar's Landing, all the way down to Howling Fjord.
Yeah, no, I'd be down for that. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, that sounds like a giant pain in the dick. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so that means it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
The Great Northrend Expedition.
Yeah. The Tuskar journey.
The Great Tuskar journey. There we go. The Tuskar challenge.
Yeah.
That's what we can call it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it has been late over here. We have made it. Probably should call it here. I feel like I kind of, I haven't gone for a bit, so I kind of dominated this episode with a lot of stories. But
you had a lot of stories. I've just been sick and couldn't talk.
That is true. Yeah, you have been a bit sick, so maybe it's a good thing that I talked a lot.
Yeah. No, it's great. I love hearing stories. Also, we're getting bananas.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay. Anyway, so guys, thanks for watching it. Well, Crendor, I know you're dead, but I guess I'll give you the final word quick before the monkey gets me.
See ya.